meet you all.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. It's an honor. Hey, I'm Maury here. Nice to meet you.
Wow,
Well, this is the non-flying Jeep.
A non-foreign Jeep.
Non-flying.
Oh, non-flying.
Yeah, you know what they called the L3s and L4s, flying Jeeps?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
You guys want to climb on the back?
I'll see you, because once you guys pull out, I'm going to have to boogie hopefully tomorrow morning.
That must be for parade.
I hope.
I'll give you a call
Exactly, you
tonight.
got it,
Okay.
sir.
I'm going to try
The
and
thing
get
is, usually there's so much cheer. I always take vets like yourself in the
I'm gonna try and
parades.
get off work tomorrow.
Usually there's so much cheer
We got
that
real
you can't
lucky
hear the
this morning.
siren.
Yeah.
Mr. Harrington, it's good to meet you.
Oh,
I
good to
should
meet
see
you,
you tomorrow.
John.
I should see you tomorrow morning, but just in case they don't let me off for work, I want to make sure I say goodbye. So, but hopefully tomorrow I'll see y'all.
That'd
Great.
be awesome.
Get this
Good to
on
see you,
tape.
Don.
Oh, can I make you?
This started 100 years ago as a retirement community for old missionaries, you know, from China and such. It's Karen Struble. She's part of the team of being president of the college. Really? Yes. Yeah. Hi. I'm John. She's lost her voice. So. And you met, of course, you remember General Bennett. And Mr. Harrington was General Bennett's pilot during the war. So he was up flying with us as well.
How was it flying the plane, sir?
He landed it all by himself.
Stand and drag it around a bit. Oh, it's too bad.
Didn't climb up the back seat.
I thought we could crank the siren and drive him around again.
And then all the time I flew.
Yeah, this Yep. So we're going to go out and try and hit some of the comments.
Yeah.
Remember, we get
Sounds
points.
like you made a great landing.
Points for them, you know.
We were in 9th Army, I think, at the time. 9th or 1st or one of them. And we got to leave. And so there was another officer and myself going in the Jeep. But of course the back end was all full of radios. So we sent 3 across the front seat. And we got to where we were going was in the 3rd Army area. And of course the MP stopped us right away. We're riding 3 in the Jeep, 3 in the front seat of the Jeep, rode us up. We continued to ride 3 in the front seat. And when we got back, Colonel Bennett called us in and said, guys, you know, I have to punish you some way. I said, yes, sir. He said, consider yourself confined to the area for the next 3 days. Now, where the hell were we going anyway, you know? So that was his punishment.
You guys have Jeeps out there too, or just armored vehicles?
No, we had, in our air section, we had a Jeep, a 3/4 ton, both of them pulling trailers, and a half-track. That was our air section ground crew had those vehicles. Driver didn't have nothing else to do except drive the Jeep. But the 3/4 ton driver was also the radio operator. And I believe the mechanics must have driven the half-track. And I can't recall of any driver for the half-track.
What kind of weapons did you guys carry besides, obviously, the big ones? What kind of weapons did you guys carry?
Well, we didn't have any.
No?
I mean, you know, carbines and 45 and a shoulder holster. That's what I wore. And well, of course, we had a 50 caliber on the half track.
They're chasing us across the field.
I thought he was running.
Oh no, he was in a Jeep.
Oh.
Hey, watch out.
He said he'd try and time it so that just when he figured the guy had reloaded and was just about ready to hit the trigger, he'd be like, okay, turn left.
That's been a few years too. One of these.
So the Ford design, that wasn't part of Willie's design, that was the Ford. And I think the headlights were, the full of headlights were part of the Ford. So they kind of really combined the best out of all of them. That's what they ended up with those standardized.
So yeah, he said he saw Patton, he stood up, saluted Patton, and he said they were setting up in a firing position. Patton came up, and it was like, Don was the XO then, and he said, you know, come over here. And Don went over, and he said, son, from now on, when you're advancing, you always stand. And then he sort of said, now if we're retreating, it's okay to sit down. And so Don said, whatever he's in Patton's area,
He's always digging around. We were staying in a church rectory, and he was studying the floor, and all of a sudden he took a crowbar and he tied up a board, tied up some more boards, and then there was bolts of cloth. He said, look at here, these he said, look at here, these priests have been hoarding stuff, and they had eggs in water glass and crocks under there too. So we had a lot of eggs for a while, you know, to eat. And he said, I know where I can trade that cloth off for some booze. I said, okay. So he loads the cloth in a barracks bag, and he threw it in a Jeep, and he went back to this place where he knew that it was. And I mean, this probably he told the story. And he said there were some MPs standing right in front of the place directing traffic. And when he stopped there, they said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm going to get some laundry done. And he takes out the barrack bag and he throws it down. He said, you want to look? And they said, no, go on. So he takes it in, trades it off for booze, and brings the booze back out and comes back, and it was okay because he shared it with everybody, see? So that was okay. But
Oh, Bill, I'm still holding
he'd do some wild things. And then his son wanted me to tell some stories about his dad, and I said, you know, I don't know whether I should tell some of those stories. I don't know that he'd want them told. But he was a wild kid. He had been in a reform school until he was 15, and he ran away from the reform school and joined the Navy. Then he went AWOL from the Navy, and when he thought they were about to catch up with him, he joined the Army. And then after he was in the Army, they did catch up with him, and then they said, oh, well, if you're in the Army, well, we'll just let it go.
Better they have to deal with him than somebody else.
Yeah, let somebody else deal with him. So that's the story of Blackie, how he came to be in the Army. And he picked up a girl and took her into Aachen. And he was up in their apartment, and he said he heard machine gun fire, and he said, is that American? She said, no, that's German. The Americans haven't been in here yet. And he said he ran down the stairs and jumped in the Jeep, turned the lights on, and sped back to where we were. And we said, well, what on earth did you turn the lights on for? He said, I figured they'd say, let that fool go, he'll kill himself.